London, England, November 13th, 1887. A man is waiting at the police station in downtown London. He has been mustered by the British government to respond to protests in Trafalgar Square. The sergeant informs him that they have orders to march and suppress the protests. The man holds his billy club in his hand, not because he's in deep contemplation about the societal implications of marching on his brothers and sisters of the lower class. No, he's looking forward to it. He has his armlet and his club, and he's ready to march with a strange sense of pride in himself that he gets to participate today. The man is Henry Hamilton Fife, one of the special constables mustered by the police force to put down the protests that are framed as a rebellion. Little does he know that he and other people like him are about to leave a stain on the pages of history for years to come. In 1873, Ireland had been experiencing an economic downturn due to British rule that resulted in the Long Depression. Falling food prices led to rural unemployment, emigration, and mass migrations into cities, causing overcrowding and low wages, which bred civil unrest. In the 1880s, the rising unrest led to the Conservative government Lord Salisbury enforcing the new Coercion Acts, which suspended civil liberties like protests for rent strikes or boycotts. Throughout the mid-1880s, unemployed workers had been organizing marches for more than 2 years. Trafalgar Square, symbolically between the working class East End and the wealthy West End, became the focus of their protests. Authorities attempted to curb these demonstrations, which drew support from socialist groups like the Social Democratic Federation, or SDF for the purposes of this video, the Socialist League, and the Fabian Society, along with free speech advocates like the National Secular Society. The arrest and imprisonment of William O'Brien, Irish MP and nationalist leader, inflamed tensions and gave the protests new momentum, and on November 13, 1887, between 10,000 and 30,000 marchers converged on Trafalgar Square. Leaders included John Burns, Annie Besant, William Morris, Robert Cunningham Graham, George Bernard Shaw, Eleanor Marx, and Charlotte Wilson, with around 30,000 spectators. In response, the British government deployed 2,000 Metropolitan Police and 400 British Army soldiers to stop the demonstration. The commissioner, Charles Warren, ordered bayonets fixed, but were given no attack orders. Protesters armed with bars, knives, pipes, and some were unarmed at all, clashed with the British forces. There were approximately 75 serious injuries and 400 arrests, but notably, only 50 remained in custody. Among the arrests, John Burns and Robert Cunningham Graham were taken in for 6 weeks. Annie Besant turned herself in, but was disregarded by British forces. This led James Merriweather, a conservative, to propose a steam engine to use as a water cannon to disperse the protesters, but this proposal was eventually rejected. 7 days later, there was another demonstration in which a young clerk named Alfred Linnell was run down by police. He spent 2 agonizing weeks in pain with a shattered thigh before finally succumbing to his wounds. He would be buried on December 18th of 1887, in which Linnell's funeral turned into a protest itself. William Morris of the Socialist League called for this moment to mark the beginning of a holy war against the colonizing British. In 1888, W.B. Kerner was buried in January and a smaller demonstration broke out as well. In February, the British government ordered the release of the imprisoned rebel leaders. This was met with thunderous applause where Henry Hindman of the SDF condemned the Liberal and Radical MPs. The coin itself is minted in bronze and weighs about 2.5 grams. The obverse side has a mature bust without a die number. The legend reads Victoria DG Brit Reg FD. The reverse side shows Britannia seated to the right, with the year minting below, in this case 1887. These would have also been used to pay wages to the workers. A loaf of bread was about 1 penny, so it would take about 4 of these quarter pennies to buy 1 loaf of bread. The average wage for dockers was 2 shillings and 6pence in 1887, meaning the conversion was around 30 pence per day, meaning they could buy about 30 loaves of bread with a day's pay.